John Mahama is the man for us. Oh, Ghana needs a change.
Mumbai and sorry and red, yeah, what's there, what's yashi, Nina, Yawa, Eka, Ghana, Naneman, Sakia.
Let us rise for a change.
Sorry and red,
A vote for Mahama is the vote for Ghana. Ghana needs the best man. John Mahama is the man for us.
Oh, Ghana needs a change.
Let us rise for a change.
Sorry and red,
A vote for Mahama, and I need the best man.
Levy repeal bill. Levy bill. Now this is the Income Tax Amendment Bill 2025 to remove withholding tax on winnings from lottery, betting and games of chance. This is the famous betting tax repeal bill. So betting tax is gone. This is the emissions tax repeal bill. So emissions levy is gone. This is the earmark funds capping and realignment bill. This is the bill that caps the GET fund and national health insurance levy and moves those resources into the consolidated fund. We promise that we'll take the capping off, we'll uncap them. So the earmark funds capping and realignment amendment bill has been assented to. This is the Public Financial Management Amendment Bill 2025. This bill is a very important bill because it will stop some of the recklessness that was exhibited under the past government. It sets a target of GDP to debt ratio of 45% by the year 2034, and that will be the ceiling, 45%. No finance minister can come and borrow as now. These agreements and this affected only ministries. Now it has been. This is the value-added tax amendment bill, and so we promise the drivers, of course, and UC to increase lorry fares. So VAT on insurance is repealed, and this one is the Petroleum Revenue Management Amendment Bill. This bill is important because it allows us to fracture, but in the past it has been used for all kinds of things. This consolidates it all under the big push for transformative infrastructural programs all over the country. So this will build our highways, this will build our roads, this will build our bridges and other important infrastructure, provide farmer service centers to give agricultural services to farmers and other such important projects. Okay, this is the Gold Board Act. This sets up the Gold Board that will streamline Ghana's gold sector, including our exports, to make sure that Ghana earns more value for money from our gold mining exports. This is the Growth and Sustainability Levy Amendment Act. It increases the growth and sustainability levy from its mineral exports. This is the Energy Sector Levies Act. This act consolidates several levies in the energy sector, including the price surge levies, into one. And it will go to pay off our energy sector debt, which, as you know, stands at promises delivered. Today we take a bold step forward, not just in education policy or healthcare, but in hope for the girl child. Today is a message to every girl in Ghana that you matter, that your dreams matter, and your future is worth every investment that we can make in it. I stand before you to officially launch the National Sanitary Pad Distribution Program, a promise we made and are proud to have fulfilled. This initiative is more than just the school because of a menstrual period. Menstruation should never be a reason for exclusion or shame. It should not be a barrier to education or self-achievement. And that is why this program exists, to remove one of the silent yet powerful obstacles standing in the way of our girl child dreams. So today I say to every girl child in Ghana, we see you, we believe in your potential here. Now you will see a transformation in our girl dignity, and they'll be able to focus on the lessons that you teach. So let us walk forward not with pity but with purpose. Let us walk forward not with shame but with pride. And let us walk forward not with fear but with hope. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, it is my honor and privilege to officially launch the National Sanitary Pad Distribution Program, a promise made and a promise kept, a challenge embraced and a bright future for every girl in our dear country, Ghana. Journey. We're not merely launching a program, but we're laying a foundation for a new economy age. We're saying to our youth, to our communities, to the continent, and to the world that the future is here, and we'll be part of shaping it. The 1 Million Coders program is not just a fulfilled campaign, practical skills critical for 21st century life and work. This program is an investment in our youth, an investment in their future as coders, as analysts, as entrepreneurs, and as tech pioneers. Over the laying and cybersecurity to data analytics and networking. These are not just technical abilities, they are economic inclusion. The aim of this is a strategic part of our educational system. To take it and own it. Let this be your launchpad into innovation, entrepreneurship, and global relevance. Let this be the bridge between your dreams and the opportunities of the digital age.
A nation resilient in spirit, rich in culture, and steady in its pursuit of progress. Today we celebrate a momentous occasion in our nation's history as we welcome the newly elected President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. a true nation builder committed to forging a brighter future for all Ghanaians. John Mahama embodies the pillars of leadership that our nation craves. Trustworthiness, real political arena. John Mahama has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the people of Ghana. His approachable demeanor, paired with his genuine concern for the needs of the Ghanaian, has earned him their trust. A trust that is pivotal for any leader aiming to guide a nation through challenging times.
What I really like about JGM is his down to earth. It's unbelievable. He's so humble. It's unbelievable. I really like that about him.
John Mahama osuro nyame, odonyame, osuro nyame, openi pasem, okita komapa. Mihu ne se mehu me nia bema. Oye obi nso a oyiyi nipam. Wo ya akwala o, wo ya opani o, wo ya pepeni o, wo ya twivi o, wo ya bebi a tribe bia o fi bia John Mahama pe wase. On ka se we nye twivi, we nye we ni. John Mahama nse nipam.
President Mahama is practical. He communicates his issues very, very well. And he understands the Ghanaian politics very well. He understands the Ghanaian people very well. And that is what I like about him.
The brand, John Dramani Mahama, is not just a name.
John Dramani Mahama is loved by many. His personality is so unmatched. And I've heard so much of it, so admirable, and his love for kids and the youth is so much amazing. And I'm not so surprised my kids get so much excited anytime he shows up on the screen.
I admire his story, Judge, and here we are. That's a good leader.
Mahama's previous tenure as president distinguished him as the infrastructure king. His visionary leadership facilitated projects that have transformed our communities. Roads, schools, and healthcare facilities were built and improved. The energy sector received a big boost with excess megawatts of power, laying the groundwork for sustainable development. But the journey is far from over. Mahama has made a solemn promise to reset Ghana's opportunity, prosperity, and accountability. Through his promise of a 24-hour economy, he envisions a nation where jobs are abundant and where people thrive. Picture this: a Ghana where industry operates around the clock, entrepreneurship flourishes, and every citizen has the chance to contribute to and benefit from economic growth. Mahama's roadmap prioritizes creating jobs and ensuring that the nation's wealth is shared across all communities. A true embodiment of economic empowerment. Mahama recognizes that Ghana's strength lies in its people's strength. By fostering an environment of innovation and collaboration, he calls upon entrepreneurs and the youth lies in our diversity. Mahama is dedicated to building a government that upholds accountability and transparency and journey, confident that together we can build a Ghana that not only meets the needs of today, but inspires future generations. As we honor John Dramani Mahama and his new dawn of leadership, we look ahead with hearts full of hope, aligning with his vision for us all. Together, let us embrace this new chapter of leadership, transformation, and growth, forging the path toward a prosperous Ghana for all. Congratulations to the fourth, and now the journey begins now.
My fellow citizens, good evening. Today, May 7th, 2025, marks 120 days since I had the profound honor of being sworn in as the President of the Republic of Ghana for a new 4-year term. It is a day that I specifically noted on our calendar to come before you, the people of Ghana, to account for the critical first steps we promised to take in our initial months in office. Our campaign was anchored on the bold yet pragmatic plan for national recovery and transformation. Central to this plan was a social contract for the first 120 days, a set of specific and unwavering commitment to change. And we have kept them. And a relentless focus on laying the foundation for building the Ghana we want, a just, prosperous, and united Ghana. Let me now walk you through. We promised to form a lean and efficient government. I promised to nominate the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval within the first 90 days. As promised, I announced the complete list of my cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval within the first 14 days of being sworn in. They were all successfully vetted and approved, and they have hit the ground running, and deputies appointed by any president in the Fourth Republic. We've also nominated our metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives, and they are going through the various levels. Establishing a robust code of conduct. I have committed to establishing a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials to instill integrity and accountability from day one. Building the comprehensive state property directly on. I've left my appointees in no doubt that I'll bring down the hammer swiftly and strongly if they breach any of these provisions. We promised to hold a national economic dialogue within the first 90 days to understand the state of our economy and build consensus on the way forward. On March 3rd and 4th, 2025, the government of Ghana convened the National Economic Dialogue at the Accra International Conference Center, bringing together partners including the private sector, civil society, presented a comprehensive report with clear recommendations to restore macroeconomic stability and regain confidence in our economy. These included enhancing fiscal and monetary coordination, reviewing the foreign exchange regime, implementing major enterprises, strengthening expenditure controls, establishing a credible medium-term expenditure framework, promoting strict fiscal discipline on the part of government, and aggressively pursuing inclusive growth. The implementation of these recommendations has begun to yield results. The currency is becoming fairly stable. Inflation is inching, provided valuable. We've taken this advice, following the recommendations of the National Economic Dialogue 921, to introduce by the year 2034. We've also established an operational rule to post an annual primary surplus of at least 1.5% of GDP, establishment of an independent fiscal council to monitor the government's adherence to the fiscal rules. This under the IMF-supported program. What is also new about this law is the sanctions associated with breaches of the fiscal rules, which extend beyond just the Minister for Finance to include all ministers of state and heads of covered entities whose actions or inactions contribute to the fiscal slippages. Government has and values and provide recommendation for corrective measures. An amendment of the Public Procurement Act has also been passed, making the issuance of a commitment certificate by the Minister for Finance a prerequisite for all procurements funded by the high cost of doing business. I promise to scrap the e-levy, the COVID levy, the 10% levy on bet winnings, and the emissions levy within my first 90 days in office. These tax expenditure measures were central to our 29 several bills into law. 5. The emissions levy repeal bill and the betting tax. We have delivered on 3 of these 4 as a value exercise that is scheduled for September this year. We significantly exceeded our 120-day promises regarding overall tax reform by enacting other critical bills such as the Added Tax Amendment Bill, the Income Tax Amendment Bill, the removal of VAT on motor vehicles, the Public Financial Management Bill, the Growth and Sustainability Levy Act, the Earmarked Funds Capping and Realignment Bill, the Gold Board Bill, the Energy Sector Levy Bill, and the Petroleum Revenue. Of course, our commitment to providing relief and creating industrial and agricultural imports. We're committed to reviewing taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported for industrial and agricultural purposes within our first 90 days. My government has initiated the crucial review process. The results of this comprehensive, subsequently the 2026 budget, commencing the 24 economy policy, 120 days. The program is designed to drive structural transformation across our economy, built on pillars, has commenced in earnest. The 24-hour Secretariat is collaborating with the Development Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Infrastructure to the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act and the Labour Act to include specific clauses regarding 24-hour operations. These amendments aim to enhance social protection, create an enabling environment for the 24-hour economy policy, and promote conducive business and labor relations. Already several businesses are lining up to sign on to this policy. Some launched 24-hour premium services to eliminate processing delays for investors. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has launched DVLA used a 24-hour service to clear a long-standing 18 months backlog of licenses and will soon commission a new 24-hour service office at Adenta in Accra. The Youth Employment Agency is set to launch the Graduates in Corporate Support GRICS program, which will attach graduates to firms operating 24 hours a day. This program is targeting 20,000 graduates. The YEA is also partnering with security agencies, the fire, police, immigration services, to provide security for 24-hour firms and is working towards training and deploying 23,000 recruits for this purpose. Recognizing the need for robust security, the police service is establishing a 24-hour police unit to improve 9 patrols and utilize technology supported by nationwide sensitization. The Minister of the Time of Use tariff, charging a lesser tariff during the off-peak hours, a direct incentive for enterprises on the 24-hour economy policy. The Minister of Finance and Presidential, the Minister of Finance and President. The Ghana Publishing Company Limited has also begun 24-hour printing operations. In fulfillment of the 120-day commitment, we're pursuing new avenues of job creation, expanding employment opportunities. But we promise to establish an accelerated Export Development Council to promote exports as a key strategy for economic transformation. I'm glad to report that on Monday, I inaugurated a 19-member Accelerated Export Development Advisory Committee, which all ministries, departments, and agencies, including the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, will not accept any business-as-usual attitude. The committee's functions include reviewing performance reports, monitoring targets, refining trade policy, deliberating on international trade issues, and providing policy guidance for exports. Ghana's export sector faces challenges, including cumbersome documentation processes, requirements from under-resourced regulatory bodies, and inefficiencies at our ports. According to the International Trade Center, these inefficiencies cost Ghana $4.3 billion yearly in losses, export losses. Sectors such as fisheries remain underrepresented in our export sector. Establishing the Accelerated Export Development Authority Committee is crucial as a central platform for coordinating reforms, driving execution, and unlocking Ghana's full export potential. Grow non-traditional export earnings by several multiples over the current $3.5 billion exported annually by at least 2028. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area offers an unprecedented opportunity, and we're positioning Ghana. We aim to triple the number of companies certified under the African Continental Free Trade Area Rules of Origin. We intend to stay in our existing partnerships. Ghana will become a hub for products, digital services, knowledge exports, and our creative industries. I promise to convene a national consultative conference on education. I'm glad to report that this promise has been fulfilled. Over 2,000 proposals were received, including a survey on free senior high school with 20,000 respondents. The reports on the consultations will be ready by the end of May 2025 and will be made public. The extensive consultation was crucial to building a genuine national consensus for sustainable reform in our education sector. The no academic fee on families and expand access to higher education, and 52,900,000 for the payment of academic facility user fees for 156,294 first-year students in public tertiary has also been instructed to pay the fees directly to the tertiary institutions, ensuring timely disbursement. The ability for this government funding. For persons with disability, like the free tertiary education for persons with disability and the Ghana Medical Trust, otherwise fund, otherwise called Mahama Cares. For free tertiary education for persons with disabilities, budget allocation for beneficiary students has been captured in the 2025 budget statement. The Minister for Education has made relevant data available for Get Fund. It's a bold national policy that provides direct financial support to Ghanaians who are suffering from chronic diseases that are not fully covered by our National Health Insurance Scheme. It serves as a lifeline for chronic disease care. On April 29, 2025, I officially launched the fund at the University of Ghana Medical Center, where I pledged 6 months of my salary as my contribution to start. Vice President Nana Jane also pledged 4 months of her salary to the Mahama Care, the equivalent of 1 month's salary to the fund. This includes CEOs and all other appointees. I encourage every networks, it's *225#. *225#. Disbursement to support needy patients will begin once the governing board is put in place. The draft Ghana Medical Trust Fund bill is ready and will be when it resumes from recess to our people. To introduce the distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in primary and secondary schools. The 2025 budget statement allocated 292,400,000 Ghana cedis for this commitment, and I launched this initiative, 6 million sanitary pads and 4 packets per station service structure to all 261 districts, ensuring that no beneficiary is left out. The distribution will be accompanied by health education. A cornerstone of our commitment to good governance and accountability is tackling corruption. Critical matter. Auditor General's report on the COVID-19 XV scandal is under indigenous banks and financial institutions. The Minister for Energy and Green Transition has commenced investigations into the PDS scandal. Deloitte & Touche is conducting an independent audit of the National Cathedral project. I expect their report by the end of this month. A number of officials have been invited and questioned concerning the 13th African Games. On April 30th, 2025, the Attorney General filed 11 charges against a former National Signals Bureau Director General and others for various offenses. Scandals. The Office of the Presidential Advisor on Corruption will continue to receive complaints and reports regarding 2,000 complaints in just a few weeks. As promised, my commitment to fighting corruption is not limited to recovering loot from past appointees. We will also ensure that our own appointees serve Ghanaians responsibly, access to state resources, I pledge to implement a government policy prohibiting political appointees from purchasing state assets. Reports of former officials acquiring public properties after regime changes have eroded public trust, particularly the alarming surge under the previous administration. In response, our policy prohibits all political appointees, their assigns, and closely associated persons from purchasing state assets. Section 5B of the Code or has purchased any state asset directly or indirectly. Allocating seed money for the Women's Development Bank. We promise to allocate seed money to establish the Women's Development Bank to empower women entrepreneurs and promote economic inclusion. Accordingly, 51,300,000 Ghana cedis was allocated in the 2025 budget for this purpose. We'll be soon. Priority job creation programs. Job creation is a top priority for my administration. We promise to launch the Ejumara National Apprenticeship and 1 million coalition. The Ejumara program has been launched to train and support 10,000 youth-owned businesses annually, and budgetary allocation has been made for that. 2,000 viable businesses will receive funding based on scalability and educational backgrounds, with specific directives to allow access for women and persons with disability, unemployed, and out-of-school youth, and our vulnerable populations. Under the National Apprenticeship Program, the goal is to provide vocational training for more than 500,000 young Ghanaians over the next 5 years, beginning with an initial 10,000 apprentices. The beneficiaries will receive training in high-demand sectors. They will receive stipends and starter toolkits and certification at the end of their training. A dual apprenticeship model blending at least 45% of trainees program is a cardinal initiative in digital skills for the Greater Accra, Ashanti, Bono, and Upper East regions. The technology sector is a key pillar of Ghana's economic reset, and we're taking bold steps to equip our youth to be the future of work. Commence review of Customs Amendment Act 2020. To rescue the local automotive repair industry, we promise to begin the review of the Customs Amendment Act 2020 to remove the law banning the importation of salvage vehicles. The Minister for Trade and Agribusiness has extensively engaged relevant stakeholders, including new and second-hand car dealers and assemblers. Her report has been forwarded to the Ministry of Finance, where a draft bill is being prepared for Parliament. To ensure fairness and transparency and eliminate political patronage and corruption in awarding government scholarships, we promise to lay before Parliament a new bill to streamline administration and prohibit political appointees from accessing government scholarships. Cabinet has given policy approval for the new Scholarships Authority Bill to be laid before Parliament to fulfill this promise. I hope Parliament will consider and pass this bill expeditiously when it resumes sitting. This bill will establish the Ghana Scholarships Authority, a fair and transparent system focused on needy and deserving students, protecting our environment, especially from the threat of illegal mining, has been a strong commitment. We promise to ban illegal and new mining activities in forest reserves and roll out our Tree for Life and Blue Water initiatives to heal and sustainably harness our environment. In the first 120 days, we've taken decisive action through a 5-pronged strategy to overhaul and sanitize the mining sector. This includes regulatory reforms and strengthening the law enforcement, stakeholder collaboration, reclamation of degraded lands. 7 out of 9 forest reserves have been reclaimed. Illegal miners have been flushed out of these forest reserves. Concerning the ban on mining in forest reserves, on March 20th, the Environmental Protection Mining in Forest grant approval for mining in forest reserves to completely prohibit mining and ban mining in our forest reserves. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has launched the Blue Water Initiative to restore our water bodies in collaboration with the Ministry of Environment. This initiative aims to train and deploy blue water guards to monitor and protect critical water bodies and prevent further pollution. At the same time, experts are working to clean up our polluted rivers. The Tree for Life Reforestation Initiative was also launched on March 21st. 2020 aims to plant over 20 million seedlings annually, educate environmental consciousness in our youths. By combining enforcement, policy reform, technology, and community engagement while achieving the expected outcomes of to transform Ghana into the preferred tourism destination and showcase our rich heritage, we promise to launch the Black Star Experience Initiative as our flagship culture, arts, and tourism brand. I launched this initiative on May 1st, 2025. The Black Star Experience is not a one-day event, but a structured year-round program designed to showcase Ghana's excellence through monthly themes and events spanning heritage, music, fashion, gastronomy, innovation, and more. The approach is to create a seamless and immersive experience for local and international tourists, ensuring year-round engagement, boosting our economy, and celebrating the vibrant tapestry of processes into security agencies to peg state security agencies of militia and vigilante elements and enhance professionalism. A board of inquiry has been established by the Ghana Armed Forces to investigate recent recruitment process and serving personnel, and mandatory ideological reorientation sessions are planned to reinforce military neutrality. This is being introduced to cross-check personnel against national criminal and security intelligence records, automatically disqualifying applicants linked to recruitments. Similar processes are underway across other security agencies, including the police, fire, service, and prison services. Reopening investigations into major unresolved criminal cases. Delivering justice is crucial for national healing and trust in our institutions. And so we promise to open investigations into major unresolved criminal cases, including the 2020 elections killings, Ayawaso West Wogombai election violence, and the murder of Ahmed Swale and Silas Wolochami. The new Inspector General of Police has established a special task force. Investigations have been reopened and progress is being made. In the tragic murder of Ahmed Hussein Swale 6 years later, the police service have made an arrest and the suspect was arraigned before court and remanded. Investigations are also ongoing into the election. 2020 individuals have been charged with conspiracy and murder and committed for trial at the High Court. In Ablikuma Central, where a military officer is alleged to have caused a death, the scene has been revisited and a request was made to the Chief of Army Staff for the release of the personnel involved to assist in investigations. For the tragic death of Silas Wolochami due to lack of evidence, but I'm pleased to report that we have reopened the case based on actionable intelligence. In Doma West, where Kofi Robert died, one person has been charged and is standing trial, while the other suspect is at large and is being pursued. In Savlugu, where Zakaria Samira, a 16-year-old, died from a gunshot, efforts are still being made to find the assailant despite a lack of cooperation from witnesses. And concerning the January 31st, 2019, Ayawaso West Wogombai election violence, where 18 persons suffered injury from individuals later identified as national security operatives, we will not let that matter die without justice being served to the victims. ASP Azugo, who was deeply involved in the violence and atrocities on the day, is currently cooperating with the National Investigations Bureau to identify, arrest, and prosecute all those who were involved in the violence. With respect to cases from the 2024 election violence that resulted in tragic deaths in constituencies like Tolong, Damango, Autusenya East, Nkranza South, Ofinsu North, and Ahafua North Southwest, the cases are being investigated by the Special Task Force. These are not to murder our citizens. We're committed to ensuring accountability for political violence so that it will not happen again. The Attorney General is involved in these unlawful incidents. Ladies and gentlemen, we promise to initiate a probe into the VRA Akosombo Bond Dam spillage to address the man-made disaster caused by the VRA spillage and prevent future occurrences. We promise to initiate a probe and take steps to compensate the victims. So this administration set up a committee chaired by Engineer Kek Kofi, a former VRA chief executive. The committee has recommended strategies to prevent future occurrences, including establishing what is called a controlled spill flood plan and implementing downstream engineering solutions for flood management. I've directed that the recommendations be implemented immediately. I further indicated that if they are not properly implemented and another destructive VRA flooding occurs like in 2023, the VRA CEO and deputies must resign or be sacked. Initiate immediate steps to compensate flood victims. The 2025 budget has made provisions for the compensation payments and to facilitate the smooth and peaceful execution up and realign state-owned enterprises to enhance their profitability and their value. On March 13, 2025, I hosted a high-level meeting of CEOs under the State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA, to underscore the critical importance of reforms. We're implementing an enhanced performance management system with clear targets, monitoring financial and operational performance and the way to uncover the root causes of challenges and provide insights for targeted strategies to foster innovation and adaptability. My vision is clear: to transform the SOEs into robust pillars of economic growth. This may involve shutting down some of them or merging some of them together. SIGA is facilitating discussions to revive the produce buying company, deliberating with the Ghana Stock Exchange about the potential listing of at least 10 of the SOEs on the stock exchange, and encouraging them to prioritize dividend payments as their primary objective this year. My fellow citizens, this has been a comprehensive account of our actions in the first 120 days of my administration. We laid out a social contract with you, the people of Ghana, with specific promises for this critical initial period. Tonight, I'm pleased to report to you that we have fulfilled these promises. From forming a lean government and establishing a robust code of conduct to taking decisive action to scrap burdensome taxes, initiating inquiries into past wrongdoings, launching major job creation programs, tackling illegal mining, reviving our environment, promoting our tourism and export sector, streamlining scholarships, supporting vulnerable populations, and holding our security agencies accountable. The foundation for resetting Ghana are not merely check boxes on a list operates with transparency for the well-being of everyone, and my word is my bond. Considerable work remains on the collective effort of us to lead this nation. Deserve that trust. Across every united by one purpose, future for our beloved nation. Evening, may God bless you all.
Wednesday May's historic second term. In August 2024, his 120 days in office. So, What's been delivered, what's still pending, and what unexpected wins has his administration progress and promises in motion?